guys, I'm Tu from edufree. I guess we've been with each other for quite a long journey on general communication, English, okay? And from now on, I want to start a series and raise it to a little bit higher level, more academic. Yes, it's about Ielts preparation. I believe that I've got some valuable tips and experience to share with you guys in order to help you guys shine in your Ielts examination. Okay, in order to start my series, I want to begin with some tips for writing skills, the most difficult skill that many people find in Ielts. And today's topic is about task 1, writing task 1. Okay, let's look at the board. And my first tip for you for writing task 1, it's about the word count. You are expected to write at least 150 words in your first task, right? And if you want to write a little bit more to express the full meaning of your report, you should write no more than 165. So in total, your word count should be between 150 to 165. Okay. And about the time, you are expected to spend only 20 minutes in the first task, because you always have to remember that the second task is way more important than the first one. So it weighs more mark, it needs more time. So stop until it clicks at 20 minutes, okay? And my tip number 2 for you is always to remember to reword and paraphrase the title. As you know, in the real test, the title is always above the graph, just like in my example here. The title of this graph is "The chart shows the number of male and female undergraduate students in the UK from 1990 to 2000. Okay, so you want to put this title into your writing, but you have to paraphrase it, means you have to express the same meaning but in your own words, in different words compared to the title. And I've done an example for you, and I paraphrased the title into this. Let's have a look. In the title it says "The chart shows." Here I changed it into "The graph indicates." The graph indicates. So I use synonyms: charts, graph, shows, and indicate to paraphrase the meaning. Okay? And in the title, it also says the number of male and female undergraduate students. In my sentence, I put it into how many undergraduate students in both genders. Okay? In the UK, I change it into Britain. And the final thing, they say it's from 1990 to 2000, and I changed it into over the period from this timeline. Okay, so with by using the synonyms or by changing the grammatical structures, you can have a very good paraphrase sentences. Let's come to tip number 3. Always remember to include the overview to your writing. Okay, overview is information that reflects the main trend of the data of your graph. Okay, and the overview, you can put it in the beginning or at the end of your writing. Either way, it's okay. Let's have a look at my example here. Firstly, you want to determine the extremes, lowest, highest, and then you might want to draw a line like this. It increases and this decreases to see what is the main trend of the data. So it increases from this year to this year, increase, and after that, from this year to this year, it decreases. Alright? And you can write like this in your overview. Overall, there was an increase in the number of UK undergraduate students until 1995. Increase. And then this number dropped. Okay. Very short and concise in one sentence. You can deliver the main information, the overview of the graph or your charts. Tip number 4. Design your own framework or layout of your writing. What is framework? Framework is how you organize your writing into different sections or different paragraphs. Okay, and depends on your information, on the data you're given in the graphs. You should quickly group them into different groups, different types. Look at my example here. I divided into 2 types. The first type is about the gender, male or female, or you can base on the second group, which is the timeline, 3 years. So therefore I can suggest 2 ways or 2 frameworks of my writing. The first one I base on the gender, therefore I have 2 sections, one for male and one for female. Or I can base on the timeline, which includes 3 years. Therefore, I have 3 sections or 3 paragraphs, one for each year. Okay, so when you write your first draft, quickly brainstorm and group information because it can make it easier for you to follow. The final tip I want to tell you is avoid repetition. So avoid saying the same thing over and over again, and use wider range of vocabulary to talk about one thing in different languages. And one effective way is to use the synonyms, mean different words, different phrases, but the same meaning. My example here is if in the first place you say the data shows, so in the second or in the third sentences you should avoid using the same phrase over and over again and change to the figure indicates that, or the amount demonstrates, or the total number represents. So basically they have the same meaning but in different words. Okay? And another example is you can use different adjectives to describe the main thing, bad or negative or detrimental or harmful. But always remember, all the phrases and all the words you use have to be formal and academic. So today I've given you 5 useful general tips from writing task 1, and we will go into more details in later sessions into the language that you can use in the task 1. So if you want to test your knowledge, please do the quizzes below, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for watching and see you next time.